Yeah, I'm fucking done with motherfuckers saying they have my back and they don't. I'm over it. I'm done with that. If you ain't got my back, then you just ain't got my back. Period. I mean, it don't take a genius, bro. Dingle Dick over here was like hanging out with Katie Noel, right? Yes. What did I say? I said, Deerdorf is always inviting Molly over there to his house and taking her away from doing music shit. Which, we're the band. What is going on? Well, now we know what's going on. Molly's drumming for Diesel Dick. It doesn't take a genius to put those things together. And like I said, ain't nobody in the band speaking up but me. So fuck it. Be mad. Just because you ain't. So I just got to reading my comments on my stories. And I seen somebody that's, attached to one of the old band members. Yeah. So I just got to reading my comments on my stories, and I seen somebody that's attached to one of the old band members. I'm not saying him. They said, "Excuse you? What do you mean, excuse me? The fuck you mean, excuse me? You see where Molly is drumming for fucking Diesel Dick? Ain't none of y'all saying jack shit. Y'all just sitting back and being like, man, all this fuck."
All right, what's good, everybody? We're checking out Ryan Upchurch's Instagram story from the last 21 hours or so. Seems like the whole internet's talking about it. As usual, Upchurch got the whole internet going wild. Let's see.
Fucked up shit that Ryan said is actually unfolding and able to see. Ain't none of y'all saying nothing, so I don't want to fucking hear from none of y'all. Yeah, I'm fucking done with motherfuckers saying they have my back and they don't. I'm over it. I'm done with that. If you ain't got my back, then you just ain't got my back. Period. I mean, it don't take a genius, bro. Dingle Dick over here was like hanging out with Katie Noel, right? Yes. What did I say? I said, Deerdorf is always inviting Molly over there to his house and taking her away from doing music shit. Which, we're the band. What is going on? Well, now we know what's going on. Molly's drumming for Diesel Dick. It doesn't take a genius to put those things together. And like I said, ain't nobody in the band speaking up but me. So fuck it. Be mad. Just because you ain't speaking the truth when you see it like I am, don't mean your ass is innocent. If you see something that you know is fucking true, and you just sit back and let motherfuckers do it, well, that's just as bad as lying. So take that to church and put it in an offering tray.
And I wonder, is he adding more fuel to the fire because the entire music industry is about to crumble with radio and labels facing a major RICO case with money laundering and racketeering. All kind of shit's about to go down. And you guys remember earlier this year that he posted this picture in March with his son in front of a screen with shipping containers. And we all know kids plus shipping containers equal trafficking. If you guys need...
And so what happens is you're overseas, you're being told how great you are, you're sitting at a bar, and somebody, and they know what you're into, guys, gals, combination thereof, drugs, whatever, and they'll hook you up, and you're thinking you're the stud, your wife's away, nobody will know halfway around the world. You end up sleeping with somebody, and then, you're out. Next day, you're flying back to America, you're back front row at the church, and then you're getting ready to make a key vote. And somebody comes up and whispers in your ear, hey man, were you in a motel room with a girl in, Istanbul or something? And you're like, oh crap. He goes, man, we don't want that out. He goes, no, we're not gonna put that out. I said, if you can help us on this little bill though, Now that's the way they used to do it. And I'm not so certain they don't do that now.
Oh, they definitely try. Some of them, well, yeah, it gets done to them. They're not saying shit right now about shit. Well, do you want to know who they are? Go look who hasn't said anything about anything in the world. I'll probably look at that person, whoever that is. Or, you see, here's the thing. This is why we had that huge influx of artists just out of nowhere pretending they're politicians. Like, what was up with that? Just came out of fucking nowhere. I wonder if the tactic was done on them. I wonder if it was successful. Well, look who was just randomly rooting for who at certain times, and you'll see who it is. But look, there was a shift that you can see on the internet. Everything on here is documented. The internet's forever, motherfucker. There was a shift when the whole, hey, let's get this guy here and let's get him to sleep with a fucking hooker, and then let's blackmail him. When that shit quit working, they switched to doing something else. Well, they didn't want to be their friend no more. They wanted to bitch and complain about him, and time up in courts, they spend all their money. So they just shut up. Well, it worked on a lot of them. Some of us, it didn't work on. And when this shift happened, and, well, taking motherfuckers to court obviously started not working as well. Well, all the people that were being paid by politicians to say certain shit realized, we're real noticeable out here, randomly being politicians for shitty politicians. So what they started doing? Well, they started rooting for and being, these musicians started rooting for and trying to act like they just love this opposite politician that they really don't like. Making way too many political songs, acting like they're rooting for somebody that they actually don't like because they're scared they're gonna get busted. And it's all becoming so clear. So clear. You see, the bad guys thought that the people they knew that were in power, integrated in the government, they thought they were the shit. Oh man, dude, they ain't gonna fucking, we better roll with these dudes trying to give us all this fucking money. Cause they're gonna be the ones running shit. And if we go against them, we're gonna be in deep shit when they get into certain positions. Psych, they're not getting into any fucking positions. As you can see, our government is getting rid of these motherfuckers. And they're worried. Your investor wasn't so high up as you thought, was he? No, he fucking wasn't. I never will forget when Trump stood there and said, this is one of the most important pictures we're finna take in American history. The reporter says, do you have any comment? He said, this is the calm before the storm. The reporter says, can you clarify what that means? He says, you'll find out. Knock, knock, who's there? The storm. And soon, we'll be all singing, I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. This is wonderful. After all this is over with, America's gonna be so close. We're gonna talk to our neighbors again. We're gonna borrow sugar just because. Because when this is all over and everyone finds out how integrated this shit was, they're gonna be like, what the fuck? And you ain't never gonna see a neighbor arguing with a neighbor. in your lifetime ever again. Your kids are not gonna see neighbors arguing like this in a lifetime either. Well, don't speak too soon. It's not over yet up church. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We've reached the point where they can't win. It's over. It's been dismantled. We're just picking up the small pieces now. A lot of these bad guys don't even know it's over yet, but it's over. They lost a while ago. You don't think the government that was fighting for the good of our country, that was sniffing out other bad people in the government, you don't think they made contact with musicians to investigate them to see if they're bad guys working with these other motherfuckers doing trafficking and shit? You don't think that? You don't think that after making contact with certain musicians, you don't think they were like, hey, look, listen, there's some shit we gotta tell you. And you don't think some musicians were like, yeah, we already had an idea, but they've been trying to convince everybody that their people, the bad people that they're invested with, are bigger than ever. They've been fear-mongering. And you don't think the government was like, yeah, they ain't fear-mongering shit. And you don't think that the good part of our government put musicians in certain spots to find out stuff too. If you don't think that, well, it's a free country. You're allowed to think that. Good night. So obviously in my DM I have people being like, bro, like, are you working with or did the gut? You'd never know, I'm not telling you. Whether I did or didn't, I would act just like I am now. And I would never tell you. You know why? Because I love our country. I would never even tell my fucking parents. I'd never tell my brothers. I'd never tell nobody. It would go to the grave. It's me just going, I'd never tell you, even if I did. I know one thing, that hitman that's supposed to come get me, he didn't come get me. Y'all remember what I told Adam? So obviously in my DM I have people being like, bro, like, are you working with or did the gut? You'd never know, I'm not telling you. Whether I did or didn't, I would never even tell my fucking parents. I'd never tell my brothers. I'd never tell nobody. It would go to the grave. It's me just going, I'd never tell you, even if I did. I know one thing, that hitman that's supposed to come get me, he didn't come get me. Y'all remember what I told Adam?
What do y'all think so far? Let me know in the comments.
So obviously in my DM